start your garden, one of the first decisions you have to make is what kind of garden you're going to have. Is it going to be the type of garden where you till up your soil and you plant things directly into the ground? Or is it kind of like my garden where you're doing raised beds and you're adding soil into those beds? In this video, I'm going to be sharing why we chose to do raised bed gardening, the pros and cons of doing in-ground versus raised bed, and also some tips on how to do raised bed gardening well. I grow in zone 8B on the western side of Washington state, so we're considered the Pacific Northwest. And this is a really important information that I want you to tuck in the back of your brain for the pros and cons when I go through why we decided to do raised bed gardening. First of all, let's explain both. So in-ground gardening is what you imagine a farm doing, where you plow a field or you till up your soil and then you maybe add some compost in there, and then you're going to plant your plants directly into the ground. Oftentimes they're done in rows versus like a bed, although I have seen, in fact, my own father gardened this way. He gardened into the soil, but he gardened in a bed, like a 4x8 bed, similar to what he would have done if he had done raised bed gardening. So I grew up helping my father in his own garden. We had a market garden, and we grew straight to the ground. In fact, my dad did the double dig method. And if you're interested in the double dig method, I'm going to link that video up here where my dad explains how he does the double dig method. Now, raised bed gardening is when you add a structure, a physical structure that holds the dirt in place. So this can be all sorts of materials, and we'll go into different kinds of materials in a little bit, but it can be a really great way to kind of bypass really bad soil, or maybe really sandy or clay-like soil, or even like certain pests. It can improve your chances of actually getting a harvest. I would say most home gardeners end up doing raised bed gardening, although I'm really not sure what the percentage is, but I definitely know raised bed gardening is a very popular choice. So the story behind why we chose to do raised beds in our own garden is that our soil is extremely clay-like, and it holds water. And when we first moved onto our property, I had originally planned to do an in-ground garden because that's what my father had done, and so I knew how to do it. And when we got here, I waited a full year before I started setting up my garden. And as I watched my plot here change through the season, I noticed that I was like, I am going to be dealing with a lot of like flooded areas, and I don't know how to deal with that with an in-ground garden. So that's how we decided to do raised beds. I absolutely love my raised beds. I think they look pretty, and we've even designed our beds in the shape of the biblical sanctuary in the book of Exodus. So if that is something you're interested in, like how we designed that, I'll link that video up here. So first, let's go through the pros of raised bed gardening. One of the main pros that I love is that you can work with pretty much any soil type, any condition of the plot. You're able to kind of work around with a raised garden bed because you are adding a structure that you can add soil into. It doesn't really matter if your soil is super sandy or maybe it's super clay-like. You're not having to amend your actual soil, native soil that you have in that plot. You can just buy a organic garden bed mix, which is what we bought, and it's a mix of compost and topsoil blended together. Put that in our garden beds. We even did like the hugelkultur method. I'll link that video up here as well. It's really nice to be able to work around that. Another pro is that you don't have to bend over quite as much. As you age, that's something that you might want to keep in mind. I have different heights to my beds, which I'll show in a little bit. I love not having to bend over as much. I definitely remember when I was helping my father in his garden with his in-ground beds, like there was a lot of having to kneel down and bend over. I still have to do that in my beds, especially my lower beds, but I still, it's not nearly as much as it would have been if I had done it in the ground. And I think the other pro is that it looks really beautiful. You can really do a lot of things with your raised garden beds. I love the look of wood. I love the look of the metal beds. I also have stone beds. I love the looks of all of these. I think that just really adds a lot of height differences and just a lot of visual interest to the garden that you don't really necessarily get with an in-ground garden, although I think in-ground gardens are absolutely beautiful too. In fact, anytime we're taking a drive and I see a garden, I don't care what kind of garden it is, I'm just looking at it because it's just so beautiful. I love it. One other con that I thought of just now is that the raised bed gardening can be a benefit for pest control. Not necessarily for bug pests, but more for your critters. Even like my duck loves to scrounge around for slugs. She can't get into my tall raised beds. She can't get into my low raised beds. But you know, she will kind of trample my plants. And so it's kind of nice to know that at least my tall bed, she can't really get into and destroy things. So some of the cons is that I would probably say the biggest con with raised beds is that it can be more expensive. If you can find materials cheaply or even free, then this might not necessarily be the case, although you still probably have to buy soil to add to it. So raised bed gardening, probably more expensive than doing it in the ground. I'll go over the different types of materials and things you can use, but depending on what material you use and the type of climate you have, if you have like a wooden raised bed, that will eventually rot and decompose where you have to replace it. If you live in a very hot, dry area, probably not as much, but if you live in a very wet, moist area like where I live, it's going to happen a lot faster. So you have to think that at some point you may have to replace those beds. Another con is building the beds. Like, I don't think it's a huge con, but like if you're not super handy, it can be a little daunting if you want to like do wooden beds, or even the metal raised beds did take a little time. They were honestly super easy to put together. But if that is something that is, you have limited mobility and it's hard for you to put them together, that can be a bit tricky, but so also can tilling a in-ground garden. So, you know, that one's kind of not like a huge con. Now that we've kind of gone through pros and cons, let's talk about materials. So for raised bed gardening, you have a lot of different options. One of the first ones that we tried was wooden beds. Now, as I'll show you in clips here, our wooden beds, I loved them. They were absolutely gorgeous. And I loved the look of them, but they did eventually start rotting on us. And it got to the point where we were trying to like patch them together, and it just wasn't worth it. And so we decided to upgrade to the metal raised beds, which I'll show you in a minute. But I do think that in your climate, if you have a dry climate where you don't get like a lot of rain, wooden beds can last a very long time. We chose to do rough cut cedar, so it would last longer. Cedar's one of the woods that lasts a really long time. At least that's what we were told. Thought it would last a lot longer than it did, but I do think that the climate we live in just isn't conducive to wood that much. You could do treated wood. Now, I know some people are concerned with the chemicals that the treated lumber is treated with. From my research, in the past, I haven't done it recently, it does seem like there is a little bit of leaching of chemicals into the part of the soil that is touching your treated lumber, but not a lot goes into the bed. So if that is something that, if that's a workaround for you, if you want to go ahead and use treated lumber because you know it will last longer and it oftentimes is cheaper, then go ahead and do it. It's probably fine. That said, if you want to use a natural lumber, probably cedar is your best option. I was definitely a bit sad to have to get rid of our wooden beds, but at the same time, I really do love the look of our metal beds. So let me show you those. These metal raised beds that we ended up getting are from Epic Gardening. They're made of alu zinc steel. And they have this like coating on the outside. So these beds, I believe, should last us 20 plus years. And I love the looks of them. Originally, I had said I loved the wood, but when we ended up putting these in, I was like, oh no, that's really beautiful. This color is mist green. They have 3 other colors to choose from, so you're not really limited on that. And what is nice, and I think most metal raised beds come like this, you can kind of reconfigure them to fit your garden how you'd like. So these are 4x8, and then back there I have 4x4, and then you could also make L shapes. I mean, there's just a lot of different shapes you can make, so you're not too limited on that. I'm really in love with these now. I'm going to link them down below, because if you are interested in doing metal raised beds, these come highly recommended by others and by me now. We're going to slowly replace our wooden beds with these metal beds. Please ignore the weeds that are growing in my blueberry beds here. So one of the other materials that we have used to do raised beds are these stones. And these stones were actually around our property. They were kind of like, when we bought our house, we had some there was like a circle where it just had some shrubs in there. And I think there was one back here that just had some shrubs. We ended up just clearing out all the shrubs, moving all the stones into like a pile, and then we slowly were able to reuse them. So we have stones now for our shade garden, we have stones around our blueberry beds, and we have it around our raspberry beds as well. So this is, you know, if you can find free things like that, absolutely do it. I've seen people use cinder blocks. I've seen people use brick. There's a lot of things that you can use. You don't have to stick to wood or, you know, the metal raised beds. So before I close, I want to give you a couple tips for how to do raised bed gardening well. One of the things I want to give you as a tip is to maybe when you're filling your raised garden beds to consider doing something like a hugelkultur method or lasagna gardening, so that you could save some money on having to buy soil to fill your garden bed rather than filling your entire bed full of soil, especially if it's a tall bed like these. These are 29 inches high. That's a lot of soil to put in there. So for at least one of our beds, we took all the soil out of the wooden bed, did the hugelkultur method, and then added soil on top, and that was within the bed. I'll link that video up here on how to do it, but definitely consider doing something like that to save you money. And also, as the things decompose, they enrich your soil. Another tip I have, which I would recommend even with in-ground gardening, is to utilize your vertical space. I have cattle panel trellises on my raised beds. I do a lot of vertical gardening. I'll probably do a video on that later this year, but do a lot of that to save space. Sometimes doing raised bed gardening, you don't have quite as much space as if you just did like a bunch of rows in the ground. So if you can utilize some of that vertical growing space, then you can maximize your growing space. Plan to top off your soil every few years because the soil is going to settle. It's just going to happen. So plan for that. Just put it in the budget for about every 1 to 3 years to go and get some garden mix and add it to your beds. And I usually recommend adding it in the fall or early spring. One of my last tips is really for those beginner gardeners or the gardeners who want to switch to raised bed gardening, is to don't hesitate to do it slowly. Because doing raised garden beds can be a large investment just depending on what kind and how you do it. Maybe take it step by step. That's what we did. We ended up doing these 4 beds that we just replaced to the metal beds. We ended up doing those the first year, and then we added some of our berries, and then the next year we added some on the sides. So it took us, I think, 5 years. We had a 5-year plan to slowly add to our garden, so it wasn't a huge financial burden in year 1. I love raised bed gardening, and I know that you will too. So please let me know in the comments below where you're going to be setting up your raised bed garden, what part of the country, what part of the world you might be doing this in. And please, if you found this helpful, give it a like, thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, you're awesome. Thanks for watching. Go out and grow something, and God bless.